The hospital charity gala was supposed to be a night of celebration, but the moment I stepped in, everything changed. My name tag read, Nathan's little housewife. Laughter erupted around me, led by his smirking female boss, Dr. Serena Blake. My face burned with humiliation, but I held my head high. As I removed the tag and walked toward the exit, I leaned close to her ear and whispered, "I'd double-check your clinical trial data if I were you." Her color drained instantly. 6 months earlier, at Nathan's promotion dinner, the board asked me what I did. Before I could answer, Nathan laughed dismissively. "Vanessa used to work in public health research. Now she mostly reviews medical papers from home. Keeps her busy while I handle the real healthcare decisions." His words landed like a slap. 3 months prior, I had uncovered a contaminated blood supply chain that could have affected 12,000 patients, earning thanks from the CDC. Yet to him, it was just a pastime. At the dinner, Dr. Blake nodded with exaggerated sympathy. "How sweet that you found something to fill your time," she said, dripping with condescension. I wanted to tell them about my publications, my patents, the algorithms used nationwide, but instead, I reached for my wine glass, silently questioning when Nathan began seeing me as a hobby rather than a partner. The story of betrayal had begun, subtle and precise, yet I sensed the patterns forming. Something inside me shifted, setting the stage for what was to come. 7 years earlier, Nathan and I had met during our residencies at University Medical Center. Both exhausted, surviving on coffee and determination, we shared a vision. Healthcare needed fixing. I was finishing my fellowship in epidemiology when he knocked over my carefully organized research notes while reaching for the last blueberry muffin. "Is this disease transmission modeling?" he asked, eyes lighting up with genuine curiosity. I explained my outbreak prediction algorithms, and he nodded enthusiastically. "That's brilliant. I'm Nathan. I want to change how healthcare systems actually work." That conversation lasted until our pages dragged US back to reality. We made a pact. Complete support for each other's work. No competition, no jealousy. Partners in healthcare revolution. In those early years, we lived that promise. I helped him prepare presentations, built financial models to prove his hospital efficiency plans, while he celebrated my first research grants. My work from our spare bedroom focused on predicting disease outbreaks. Nathan never complained about the chaos of papers or late nights. He brought me tea at midnight, asking, "Saving the world from the next pandemic?" I'd respond modestly, "Maybe just a few thousand people from a bad flu season." When my predictions proved accurate, hospitals were prepared, and those who ignored warnings suffered. My reputation grew. His pride was genuine. Together, we were building something meaningful, 2 careers intertwined in a shared mission. But success would soon test our bond. Nathan's career began advancing rapidly, from assistant administrator to operations management, then into leadership with higher salaries. He thrived in boardrooms and politics. I celebrated each step, even when relocating to Philadelphia meant abandoning the hospitals and health departments I had built relationships with. I believed completely in our partnership, transferring ongoing projects and preparing for a fresh start. But slowly, the dynamic shifted. Nathan began making decisions independently. My expertise in epidemiology, once valued, became academic, compared to his real-world responsibilities. When I questioned short-sighted choices, his response became routine. Healthcare administration operates differently than research. You can't understand the pressures I face. The real turning point came when Dr. Serena Blake joined as Chief Medical Officer. Suddenly, Nathan referenced her vision, her industry connections, her brilliance constantly. "She understands how to maximize revenue while appearing to prioritize patients," he'd say. I tried to be supportive, suggesting we meet her, but her influence on Nathan only grew. Serena began isolating me from Nathan's professional world. Events were scheduled when I had research commitments. Optional gatherings were framed as expectations, and subtle messages made clear I was failing as an administrator's wife by prioritizing my work. Even small compliments became veiled criticisms, carefully designed to diminish me while appearing supportive. I knew what was happening. As someone trained in pattern recognition, I recognized the systematic manipulation. Serena was repositioning me in Nathan's mind from partner to accessory. And Nathan, once a supporter of my expertise, was now entirely dismissive. The final straw came at the charity gala. Nathan's excitement felt rehearsed as he guided me to the event, hand on my lower back, more performative than affectionate. Serena intercepted us, her silver gown sparkling under the lights, smile bright but cold. She handed me a name tag, Nathan's little housewife. Laughter rippled through the room. Serena's condescension was loud enough for everyone to hear. Still playing scientist at home? Finding any fascinating patterns in your data? Humiliation hit like a physical blow, and Nathan avoided my eyes. But instead of breaking, I carefully removed the tag, held my head high, and walked toward the exit. As I passed Serena, I leaned close and whispered, "I'd double-check your clinical trial data if I were you." The color drained from her face. I had already noticed troubling patterns in her. Cardiac's trial data discrepancies between FDA submissions and original trial registrations. Nearly half the adverse cardiac events were missing. That wasn't a statistical error. It was fraud. Back at home, I dove into analysis. I cross-referenced patient enrollment, adverse event reports, and protocol amendments. Every manipulation traced back to Serena. Within days, I anonymously posted my findings to industry forums. By Friday, the FDA announced a preliminary inquiry. The fallout was immediate. Meridian Pharmaceuticals' stock plummeted. Journalists called. An internal email surfaced showing explicit instructions to hide adverse events. Serena's fraud was exposed, all because I recognized. With Serena exposed, everything changed. Nathan finally came home. Desperate, asking for my help to review documents and distance himself from her decisions. The irony was sharp. The man who had dismissed my expertise for years now depended on it. I calmly reminded him of the years he ignored my professional judgment. I had already prepared divorce papers. This wasn't just about the gala. It was about reclaiming myself. I walked him through the consequences of his loyalty to a corrupt mentor while I had protected lives and exposed fraud. Nathan realized too late that my skills and judgment were invaluable not just academically, but in real-world impact. Weeks later, a call from Dr. Patricia Warren at the National Institute for Public Health. Research changed everything. She offered me a position as Director of Epidemiological Analysis, complete research autonomy, and a team of 12 analysts. I accepted, stepping into a glass-walled office overlooking the city, leading nationwide investigations into clinical trial data. Within months, my team identified 3 other suspicious drug trials, preventing potentially dangerous medications from reaching patients. My past humiliation became irrelevant. My work now saved lives on a national scale. Serena faced federal charges for clinical trial fraud, conspiracy, and securities manipulation. For the first time, I controlled my life, my schedule, and my impact. Even Nathan's handwritten apology felt hollow against the years of dismissal. From the ashes of that marriage, I emerged stronger, respected, and entirely in charge of my destiny. The truth had done the work, and I simply gave it the chance to shine.